When a loved one passes away, their family is filled with questions. How did they feel? Where are they now? Have they reached the light? Are they at peace? Are they okay? There are memories that hurt and, at the same time, sustain us. The emptiness in our hearts is a reflection of the love that was shared. Love never dies. It simply changes form. If you have ever lost a loved one, perhaps when you close your eyes, you can still feel their presence, and surely your heart fills with pain. Pay close attention. If you have ever felt this way, this video is for you. Today I'm going to share the 8 things people see as they pass away. What I'm about to reveal may change your understanding of life forever. The first thing that happens is people see loved ones who passed away before them. Just in that moment when the breath stops and the heart beats for the last time, something extraordinary happens. In the moment of death, there are profound accounts of people seeing their deceased loved ones, as if they are waiting to guide them with peace and joy. Imagine a father, closing his eyes for the last time, finding himself embraced by the warm arms of parents who passed away long ago. This encounter is not seen as a hallucination, but as a spiritual reality, where the love that transcends earthly life manifests tangibly, almost like a farewell and a welcome embrace all at once. This moment is more than just a simple goodbye. It is a preparation for what lies ahead. Seeing those we love at the final hour is like receiving our invitation to embark on a journey filled with serenity and light. Think about how comforting it would be to know that when your time comes, you won't be alone, but surrounded by those who have already walked this path. This brings a sense of continuity, that life does not end, but transforms into something much greater, something only the soul can fully comprehend. There is an indescribable feeling of peace in these experiences. The person who is passing away feels as if they are being gently guided by unseen hands, down a path of light where pain and suffering no longer exist. It's similar to the biblical account of Lazarus and the rich man, where angels carry Lazarus to Abraham's bosom, a place of comfort and rest. In the same way, the encounter with loved ones can be seen as the beginning of this spiritual journey, where the soul is tenderly guided by those who have loved them from the beginning. These encounters are described as moments of profound joy. The souls that reunite do not express sadness over the separation they experienced, but rather a happiness that transcends any earthly understanding. Imagine the pure joy of reuniting with someone you love, without the barriers of time or distance, only the true connection that love allows. And this joy, this reunion, is something we can all look forward to, a glimpse of what lies beyond the veil of death. It is crucial to understand that this encounter with loved ones is also a prelude to what will come next. Like a gentle introduction to the spiritual world, it prepares the soul for the next revelations and experiences after death. The person who departs does not feel alone or lost, but embraced and ready to continue their journey, knowing they are in good company. And with this company, the soul prepares for the next step, which is to let go of all that is earthly and material. The second thing, detachment from material possessions. As the moment of death approaches, the value of material possessions fades into insignificance. Picture a wealthy individual lying on their deathbed, surrounded by the opulence they once cherished. In this final hour, all those riches, the houses, the cars, the treasures, lose their meaning entirely. The soul begins to detach from everything earthly, understanding that these possessions are nothing more than temporary anchors that cannot follow them into the afterlife. This detachment is not a sudden realization, but a gradual process where the soul recognizes the futility of clinging to what once defined their identity. It's like the story of the rich young ruler in the Bible, who was invited to give up his wealth and follow a higher calling. In the face of death, this invitation becomes inevitable. The soul, now free from the bonds of materialism, can advance into the afterlife unburdened, ready to embrace what truly matters during this time. The person may reflect on the countless hours spent accumulating wealth, only to realize that none of it holds any value in the end. It's a sobering reminder that what truly matters are not the things we possess, but the relationships we nurture and the love we give. As Jesus taught, "Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth, but store up for yourselves treasures in heaven. At the moment of death, this teaching becomes starkly real as the soul releases its grip on the material world. This process of letting go is not just about releasing possessions, but also about shedding the ego that often accompanies them. The soul begins to understand that its true worth is not measured by earthly standards, but by the purity of its intentions and the love it has shared. This is a moment of profound clarity, where the soul sees itself as it truly is, free from the trappings of wealth and status, and ready to step into the light of eternity. As the soul prepares to depart, this detachment from material things serves as a final purification. It's like a cleansing of the spirit, where all that is unnecessary is left behind. The person becomes like a traveler, shedding the heavy baggage of worldly concerns, ready to embark on a journey where only the lightest and most essential truths can be carried. And with this, the soul is prepared to witness the next revelation, the vision of their own body from a higher perspective. The third thing, vision of one's own body. It's common for people after death to experience a sensation of detachment where they observe their own body from above, as if they are floating. Imagine the impact of seeing your lifeless body lying below while your consciousness hovers, watching everything around you. This phenomenon, often reported in near-death experiences, offers a unique perspective where the person sees not only themselves but also the faces of loved ones left behind. Grieving the loss, however, this vision is not merely a moment of shock or surprise. There is a deep understanding that the body is just a shell, a vessel that has served its purpose. The soul, now freed, sees clearly that the true essence does not reside in that physical form, but in the vital energy it once housed. It's like the story of Stephen, the first Christian martyr, who, as he was being stoned, saw the heavens open and Jesus standing at the right hand of God. He looked at his body being destroyed, but his soul was fixed on what truly mattered. This experience also brings a new understanding of the transience of earthly life. By seeing oneself from the outside, the person recognizes the fragility of the human body and how it is merely a temporary vehicle. This generates a sense of peace, as the soul knows it is preparing for something far greater and more enduring. The vision of one's own body, in this context, is the beginning of a new chapter where the spirit unshackles itself from physical limitations to venture into a new dimension. Moreover, this vision offers the soul a chance to say goodbye in a way that transcends words. Seeing loved ones around the body brings a final moment of connection, where the soul can convey feelings of love and peace, even though it is no longer within that body. It's a silent farewell, but one full of meaning, as if the soul is saying, "I'm okay, move forward with strength and faith." Finally, this vision is not the final destination, but a point of transition. From this moment, the soul is ready to move forward, to explore what comes next in the spiritual journey. It is the moment when it leaves the physical body behind and prepares for the next experiences and revelations, such as visits in dreams that bring comfort and farewells to those still living. The fourth thing, visits in dreams. After death, there are accounts of people experiencing visits from deceased loved ones in their dreams. These dreams are not mere creations of the mind, but deep and meaningful encounters where the souls of the departed find a way to say goodbye or offer comfort to those left behind. Imagine the relief of a mother who, after losing her child, sees him in a dream, smiling and telling her that he is at peace. These moments serve as a bridge between the physical and spiritual worlds, where love continues to manifest in surprising ways. These dream visits often occur during times of greatest need, when the pain of loss is still sharp. It's as if the soul of the deceased knows exactly when and how to appear, bringing a message of comfort that transcends words. A biblical example of this can be found in Matthew 1 verse 20, where Joseph, troubled by the news of Mary's pregnancy, receives a visit from an angel in a dream, bringing him peace and clarity about what he should do. In the same way, these post-death visits serve to calm troubled hearts and offer a new perspective on life and death. These dreams are often described with remarkable clarity and realism, as if the person were truly there, present and alive. This may reflect the strong connection between souls, a bond that even death cannot sever. The person who dreams wakes up with a feeling of peace, sensing that they received a true visit and that, somehow, communication with their loved one continues. These encounters can be a way for the soul to reaffirm that, even though no longer in the physical realm, love and care remain unchanged. Beyond comfort, these dream visits can also bring messages or warnings. It might be a reminder to move forward, guidance on how to handle a challenge, or even a final reconciliation that wasn't possible in life. It's as if the soul of the departed has one last opportunity to help and guide those still on their earthly journey. These dreams then become a spiritual legacy, a way for the deceased to continue positively influencing the lives of those they loved. As comforting as these dream visits may be, they also serve as a reminder that the soul's journey continues. After these encounters, there is often a sense of closure, as if the soul is saying it is ready to move on and that the living should do the same. This paves the way for the next stage of the spiritual journey, the life review, where the soul revisits the most important moments of its existence and understands the true purpose of its time on earth. The fifth thing, life review. After death, many accounts suggest that the soul undergoes a life review, where every significant moment, whether good or bad, is relived with surprising clarity. Imagine watching a movie where you are the main character, revisiting your choices, your failures, and your victories, as if you were sitting in the audience but feeling each emotion again. This review is not a judgment, but an opportunity to understand the purpose of existence and the lessons learned along the way. During this review, the soul experiences each moment with a new perspective, free from the limitations of ego and earthly vision. It's as if the pieces of a puzzle finally fit together, revealing the full picture of life. A biblical example that illustrates this concept is David's repentance, where, after committing grave errors, he revisits his actions and recognizes the depth of his failures before God. This review process allows the soul to see not just the facts but also the intentions and consequences of each choice. This retrospective offers a deep understanding of how every action, no matter how small, had no impact on the lives of others. It's a moment of revelation, where the soul realizes that the true measure of life is not in grand achievements or accumulated wealth, but in the love, compassion, and human connections that were cultivated. The life review, therefore, is not just a recollection but an opportunity for spiritual growth and learning. Moreover, this review serves as a preparation for the next phase of the soul's journey. By revisiting its life, the soul has the chance to release regrets, forgive itself and others, and understand the lessons it needs to carry forward into eternity. It's as if the soul is cleansing its heart, preparing for a new beginning, free from the burdens of the past. This process of healing is essential for the soul to move forward fully and without hindrance. The life review, though intense, also brings a sense of peace and acceptance. The soul understands that every experience had its value, every mistake was an opportunity for learning, and every act of love was a seed planted in eternity. With this understanding, the soul is ready to advance on its spiritual journey, moving toward the intense light that many describe as the next vision after death, representing the divine presence and the entrance to paradise. The sixth thing, intense light. Many people who have had near-death experiences or visions after death report seeing now intense, bright, and comforting light. This light is not just a visual phenomenon but a manifestation of the divine presence, a beacon guiding the soul to the next stage of its spiritual journey. Imagine this light as a warm embrace from God, welcoming the soul with indescribable peace, dispelling all fear and pain. This intense light is often described as the climax of the post-death experience, where the soul feels a direct connection with the divine. It's like the vision Moses had on Mount Sinai when he encountered God in the form of a burning bush that was not consumed. Just as Moses recognized that he was in the presence of something sacred, the soul realizes it is before a force that transcends human understanding and surrenders to this presence with complete trust. The light is not only bright but also filled with love and acceptance. Many describe feeling enveloped by this light, as if being carried to a place of safety and rest. It's a sensation of belonging, where the soul knows it is exactly where it's meant to be. This moment offers a glimpse of paradise, a foretaste of the eternal peace that awaits the soul that has completed its earthly journey. Moreover, this light serves as a guide, directing the soul to the next step in its spiritual journey. It's like a star illuminating the path, ensuring that the soul doesn't feel lost or alone. Even those who may have strayed from their faith in life find in this light a path back to the divine, an opportunity for reconciliation, and a journey towards spiritual fulfillment. Finally, the vision of this intense light prepares the soul for the ultimate encounter with God, where it will fully understand its purpose and eternal destiny. It's as if the light is calling the soul home, to a place it has always known but had forgotten during its earthly life. With this light guiding its way, the soul moves closer to the encounter with God, where it will finally grasp the meaning of its existence and find ultimate peace. The seventh thing: vision of the afterlife. After death, many report having a vision of a paradisiacal place, an environment of peace and love where they meet with God and other souls who have already passed on. This vision of the afterlife is described as an experience of unparalleled beauty and serenity, where the soul is enveloped in an atmosphere of perfect harmony. Imagine walking through a celestial garden, where every leaf, every ray of light, conveys a deep sense of connection with the divine. This vision is not just a promise of something greater, but a confirmation that life continues in a much higher and more fulfilled dimension. It's like the vision the Apostle John had of heaven, described in the book of Revelation, where he saw a city of gold, illuminated by the glory of God, where there was no more pain or suffering. In this way, the soul realizes it is standing before its true home, the final destination for which it was created. The place the soul sees is often described as a refuge of peace, where divine love permeates everything. There is no fear, sorrow, or any feeling of loss, but a deep, enduring joy that fills every fiber of its being. This is the place where the soul finds rest after the long journey of earthly life, knowing it is finally home, in communion with God and those it loves, besides being a place of rest. This vision of the afterlife is also a reunion with other souls, those who have walked the path before. It's a reunion of love and celebration, where there is no more separation or longing. The soul, upon joining this heavenly community, feels that it is part of something much greater, a spiritual family united by love and faith. Finally, this vision of the afterlife prepares the soul for the most anticipated encounter, the meeting with God. It is in this environment of peace and beauty that the soul finally sees and understands God in a complete and transcendent way, marking the beginning of its eternity in the divine presence. From this point on, the soul is ready to dive into eternity, where time no longer exists, and the love of God is the only reality that matters. The eighth thing: encounter with God. The final stage of the soul's journey after death is the most profound, the encounter with God. This moment transcends all understanding, where the soul finally sees and comprehends God in a way that is both complete and overwhelming. Imagine standing before a presence so powerful, so filled with love and light, that every question, doubt, and fear melts away, leaving only a sense of awe and perfect peace. This encounter is the culmination of everything the soul has been preparing for throughout its existence. In this sacred moment, the soul understands the true purpose of its life on earth. It's as if every experience, every joy, and every sorrow suddenly makes sense, all woven together into a divine plan. The soul realizes that nothing was in vain, that every step along the way was guided by a higher power leading it to this exact point. A biblical example of such an encounter is when Moses spoke with God on Mount Sinai, where he was so overwhelmed by God's presence that his face shone with divine light. In the same way, the soul is illuminated by the glory of God, fully aware of its place in the universe. This encounter is not just a meeting but a reunion. The soul feels as though it has returned to its source, to the Creator who knew it before it was formed. There is a deep recognition, a feeling of coming home, where the soul is embraced by the love that has always surrounded it. This love is unconditional, beyond anything the soul could have ever imagined, and it fills every part of its being, healing every wound and wiping away every tear. As the soul stands in the presence of God, it experiences a joy that is beyond description. This joy is pure, eternal, and unchanging, a state of being that transcends all earthly emotions. The soul knows that it is safe, that it is loved, and that it will never be alone again. This joy is the fulfillment of every desire, the answer to every prayer, and the end of all longing. The soul has reached its ultimate destination, the place where it was always meant to be, finally. This encounter marks the beginning of the soul's eternity in the divine presence. Time no longer has meaning. There is only the eternal now, where the soul lives in perfect harmony with God. This is the ultimate reward, the final peace, and the greatest love. With this encounter, the soul's journey is complete, and it steps into the infinite light of God's love, where it will dwell forever. As we've explored these extraordinary visions that many experience in their final moments, one thing becomes clear: death is not the end, but a gateway to something far more profound. The insights we've shared are not just fascinating stories. They are reminders of the incredible love God has for each of us and the eternal life that awaits those who believe. But the question remains, what will you do with this knowledge? Will you let it inspire you to live a life full of purpose, love, and faith? Or will it be something you ponder only in passing? This is your moment to decide. Are you ready to embrace the hope and peace that come from knowing that God has a plan for your life, not just in this world, but beyond? If this message has touched your heart, I encourage you to take the next step in your spiritual journey. If you haven't already, consider opening your heart to Jesus, accepting His love, and allowing Him to guide your life. He has incredible plans for you, and there's nothing more important than securing your place in His eternal kingdom. Before you go, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on more incredible teachings from the Bible. Your journey of learning and growth doesn't end here. If you found this video meaningful, I believe you'll also enjoy my recommendation: Why Jesus Had to Meet Moses and Elijah at the Mount of Transfiguration. Bible Mysteries Explained. Click on the card that's on the screen, and let's continue uncovering the mysteries of the Bible together. May God bless you abundantly. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Until then, remember, you are loved, you are valued, and God has an amazing purpose for your life. See you soon.